Let me ask you one question. How is it that everyone's scaling their Facebook ads right now, but you're still stuck not being able to scale your Facebook ad spend without destroying your CPA? Well, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's because of these four reasons: lack of creative diversity, relying on ChatGPT, campaign structure is too complicated, or overall just bad ad creatives. Now, how do I know this? So I've worked with over 35 e-commerce brands spending 5 figures a month up to $1 million every single month, and I audit these brands every single day. And these are the common problems that I come across every single time I audit an account. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how you can avoid these mistakes and what to do instead to make sure that you can scale your ad spend. The first problem that we're going to speak about is creative diversity. This is a huge problem that I see in 7-figure brands, 8-figure brands, even low 5-figure brands. And this becomes a problem when you start spending 30K a month or so more around that kind of region. So this is not having enough creative formats inside your ad account. So the main creative formats are UGC, static ads, GIF ads, and high production. In a perfect world, your ad account has all four of these formats. And the reason is Facebook sees each of these formats differently and they'll get pushed to your audience. So what this does is it builds your Facebook ads funnel. For example, high production stuff, it probably won't convert as well, but it might give awareness campaign and it might be getting shown to less people, but people are enjoying watching it. It's fun to watch. It's really high quality. So you've got lower CPMs. So it's getting delivered to more people. With the opposite side of that is static ads. It might not be as enjoyable to watch. People might not sit there and stare at your static ad. However, it's going to get delivered to the same person multiple times. So it acts as a retargeting method at the bottom of funnel. So right there, you can see static ads are acting as a bottom of funnel technique naturally, just using Facebook's AI technology. And then we have high production ads that are going to be acting as top of funnel ads. Now, you don't need to do anything inside your ad account to do this because Facebook's technology, as you know, the AI in there is getting smarter and smarter. So we don't need to do these things anymore. It naturally retargets and it naturally acts as a retargeting method, learning who's engaging with the ad and then sending it to more people like that and similar people and the same person. So there you can see an example. So we have statics at the bottom of funnel. We can have high production at the top of funnel, and then UGC is kind of all the way through. And then same with GIFs, they can get pushed differently. Now, this is not excluding it. It's not saying high production can't be bottom of funnel. This is just how it tends to be. Now, if we have all of these creative formats, we are operating at maximum efficiency. So we have top of funnel, we have middle of funnel, we have bottom of funnel, and this is how we're going to grow and cater for more of your audience. Some people are going to buy from static ads, some people are going to buy from UGC, some people will buy from high production, and different people will enjoy that content differently. So it's really important to cater for every niche of your audience to have the most efficient ad account possible. And that's why I say when you get to spending 30K a month, even a little bit less, if you can do it from the bottom up, that's perfect. But I know high production can be more costly. But UGC, static ads, GIF ads, if you can do that from the start, you put yourself in really good stead to scale because you've got the best, efficient, most effective ad account catering for everyone. So that's what I see the biggest problem in every ad account is creative diversity. If you can tackle that, then you're going to do a really good job at scaling. But don't get me wrong, you can scale with just one creative format. For example, I've got a client who scaled to 100K in ad spend a month with just UGC ads. And that just shows that it can be done. However, when we add static ads into the mix, and that's what we've done now, we just know we're going to collect so much more revenue because we're going to be able to target more people and we're going to be retargeting people with the static ads. And that's the next on the agenda. So we've got up to 100K per month to spend with just UGC ads, but adding static ads into the mix now is beautiful because we're going to collect so much more revenue. The next one is relying on ChatGPT. Now, I've done a lot of AI work because it can be really helpful, but however, I'll put a disclaimer in every single video. Don't use AI, don't rely on AI completely. You've got to have your own creativity, or else how can you be separated? If everyone's using the same prompts, if everyone's using AI, then all the ads are going to look the same. And you can really tell in some ads that it's been written by AI. You know, you can see the game changer word that gets thrown out by ChatGPT a lot. You can see how robotic they are because literally ChatGPT is a robot. So the main point of this is don't use ChatGPT and rely on it completely. If you're going to use it to get ideas, use it to make yourself more efficient, and use it to aid your usual techniques and your usual process. Don't just use AI and rely on it, because your ads won't be unique and they won't convert. Now, the next bad mistake that I always see is campaign structures are too overcomplicated. Now, let me tell you a secret. I've got clients that are spending 7 figures a month, and I've got clients that are spending low 5 figures a month, and they have the same campaign structure. There's no need to overcomplicate it. If they can do it spending 7 figures a month, then you spending low 5 figures, 6 figures a month, you don't need to overcomplicate it. So here it is. We have a testing campaign, and the testing campaign will be broad or with our proven audiences, with maybe some guardrails on the age range, male or female. We tend to leave it completely open, to be honest. No interest targeting, and ABO. So we group our ad sets by the creative concept. So whatever the creative angle is, if we have a brief with 5 variations, we'll put that into one ad set. Now, for our scaling campaign, we literally will duplicate the winners, take the post ID over, and put it into the scaling campaign. Now, inside the ABO, we will continue scaling that, because just because it's called the testing campaign doesn't mean we're just going to turn it off when it's not. We're just going to turn it off when we put it into the scaling campaign. No, we keep scaling the testing campaign and then just add the winning ads into the scaling campaign. And the scaling campaign will be CBO with all of our winning ads in. And the goal of that is just to basically put our winning ad in more positions and increase the spend on that, as well as increasing the spend on the testing campaign. Now, this is where I've seen the most success. Now, I've heard other techniques and I've used other techniques with CBO, with a testing ad set and a scaling ad set inside a CBO. But for me, I like to keep it super simple. Now, you can also try some Advantage Plus campaigns and stuff like that, but that's in addition. I like to keep it super simple. We can try that stuff and test that stuff, but keep it super simple with your evergreen campaigns, and that's how you scale, because simplicity scales. Now, the final mistake that I see, and it kind of leads on from a couple of my points previously, is bad ad creatives in general. Now, if you're using AI, you're going to have bad ad creatives. If you've got a lack of creative diversity, you're going to have bad ad creatives, or just a bad ad account in general. Now, in my opinion, the best way to get good ad creatives is break it down as simple as possible. So ad creatives have building blocks, and it starts with the hook. And each section of these building blocks goes down in importance. So the first building block is your hook, and this is by far the most important part of your video. So forget about the first 5 seconds, the first 3 seconds, the first 0.5 seconds. The first frame counts, and you should be optimizing from that point onwards. You need your first frame to call out your target audience. And I cannot put enough emphasis on how important this has been at the agency since we've started implementing this. So what this means is we have text overlays on screen, for example. That's one way that you can do it. We can have the pain point called out visually, audibly, from the first frame. It's like your thumbnail. And then the first 0.5 seconds, we continue this. Are we calling out customer emotions, for example, a pain point, a desired outcome, a objection that they might have, calling out their pain point visually. So, for example, a client we were just working on is natural deodorant, and we had a hook where we were showing an armpit with visible marks, burns, because some natural deodorants do cause chemical burns and stuff like that. And we called out that target, called out that pain point visually, as well as calling it out spoken with the creator as well. And we mentioned that they're never going back to normal deodorant, or they're never going back to other natural deodorants. So that's just an example off the top of my head, and there's so many ways you can do it, but it all starts with the hook. Now, you look at the other building blocks and you can go several different ways, but we like to follow frameworks at the agency, and they get a lot of stick. Some people don't like frameworks, some people do. Now, in my opinion, a framework allows you to follow your customer's journey and make sure that you're making ads that resonate. So after the hook, you can go into a problem. So you can go into the problem and agitate the problem further. You can intro your product. You can talk about benefits of the product, a desired outcome, and a call to action. So that is a framework of an ad, and that's how you should be building your ads. So it starts with the top, and you need to build it in building blocks. Now, there's common mistakes Don't make it too long and robotic. Don't use ChatGPT to do this because that's exactly what it will do. Don't add sentences for each building block. You can literally have a couple of words. Make sure it flows. You want your ad 20 to 45 seconds. That's all it needs to be. And just make sure it's not too robotic and scripted when you are following building blocks. Now, that's my advice for if you've got bad ad creatives and you're trying to solve it quickly, is make sure you've got that building blocks there. Now, to follow on from that is the research. That's one of the most important parts. And the research process, if you do it right, it will make your ad script writing process, your static ad creation, your headline, your hooks, everything will be so much easier if you do the research right. And I made a training guide going through our exact research process at our agency. It's 72 pages long. It's super valuable, one of the most valuable assets I've ever made, and I've given it away for free. So I've put a link to it in the description, and you can also watch the 52-minute training video here going over the full training SOP. So it's super valuable, and if you follow this step by step, then you're going to make ads that scale better, because it's going to give you the ability to write better scripts, better hooks, better statics. So it's really important that you follow this research process. I appreciate your time, and I'll speak to you soon.